Hey, welcome back to Variety Homestead. This evening, what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to make a very simple fire starter. It's something I learned in the Boy Scouts many decades ago, and it's a simple method that you can get the kids involved in, and it's something that you can do if you got some spare time to make these very simple fire starters using newspaper, using string, using paraffin wax or beeswax if you want to use beeswax. And it's a technique that you can use for starting your fire pit, for starting a campfire, for even for your wood stove or your fireplace if that's what you want to do. It's a simple procedure, takes just a few minutes to make one of these. And when you make them, you can make them in large batches so that you have them for quite a while. So stand by while I make some camera adjustments, and we'll be back in just a minute to make these fire starters. Okay, we're back. So what I'm gonna do now is on these fire starters, I'm gonna show you what we do to make these. Now it takes a few minutes, and I'm just gonna make one because I don't want to bore you with making 2 or 3 dozen of these bad boys. So what you do is you take a standard newspaper. I don't take the paper out here where we live, but I do have folks at work that take the paper. So what I've asked that they will give me their Sunday paper if they don't mind. And when you use the newspaper, you want to use just the newspaper part. You don't want to use the plastic coated or the whatever that waxy surface is that they put on the advertisements. You just want to use the basic newsprint. And what we do here is you take 2 whole sheets wide open like this, and you basically you fold them in thirds. Okay, so you fold a third over, crease it down, fold it over another third, crease it down. And my wife does it this way, and I think this is a pretty cool way to do it because it really gets that crease nice and sharp and gets it nice and sharp there. And then you fold it in half like this, and you start with the loose end down here, the frayed end, and you fold this thing up as tight as you can get it. Now you may not be able to get it super tight, but it should be as tight as you can get it, at least to start with, so that you get a good roll on it. And then, my previously sufficient dexterity and motor skills apparently have suffered in the last number of years. But you roll it up, and you can see how it's kind of. But that's okay. It's okay that it crushes up and clumps all up like that, because when you go to dip this in the paraffin, it's gonna help it to soak in, and you'll get into the nooks and crannies. So you get that rolled up really tight like that, and then you take a piece of string. Now this is the piece we used to call this crab line, but it's basically just a piece of packaging string. It's not nylon. It's not any material like that. It's just a basic string material. And what I do is I put it here, and just like this, and then I wrap it twice pretty tight. And then I come up to the top here and doing this like this. I'm gonna put it down on the table because I'm not able to hold it and do it like that anymore. And you cinch it down. Now what I try to do is I try to get it pretty tight, because you know how when you tie string, it will want to come untied on that first knot. Basically what you do is a square knot, like I'm doing here, doing not a great job at it, but you do a square knot, and that's it. You're done. I mean, you now have a fire starter. At this point, you're ready to go into the paraffin wax. And what I did was a double boiler, and that enables me to swish it around for about 30 seconds So I don't know, let's see. Got it here, got the wax melted. And what you do is you swish it around a little bit, and you want to put it in here for, I don't know, maybe 30, 40 seconds or so, and just swish it back and forth so that you give that melted wax the ability to soak into that paper, because that's what's going to give you a little bit of longevity on your flammableness when you're using it to start a fire with, so that it'll burn a little bit longer. And then you just pick it up and you let it drain off. And what I typically do is I let it drain off while I'm talking. I let it drain off for about maybe a minute or so, and let it drip. And while what is happening there is the paraffin is starting to solidify. And then I will take it and I'll put it on, I could use this right here as a matter of fact. I'll put that down there and then let it drain off a little bit and just wave it back and forth a little bit. And then we'll have it, and I can touch it and I can feel this wax is starting to solidify on there now. So I'll just wave it around a little bit, let the wax solidify. It takes seconds for this to happen. And then I just sit it down, and you can do this with a bunch of them. Sit it down and just let it finish drying, and you are good to go. Okay, in conclusion, let me say it's a fun project you can use for getting the kids together and doing something cool when you make a bunch of these things, and you can use them for a long, long time. When I made these before, back in the day, we used a bigger newspaper because that's what was available. Today, the newspaper is significantly smaller, so I had to modify the folding technique a little teeny bit. Now you can get the paraffin. This is the brand Gulf Wax, paraffin wax. You can get it, I'm assuming you can get it off of Amazon. I know you can get it off of Walmart, and it comes in 1 pound boxes. And if I remember correctly, they are $3.97. And you say, well, that's a lot of money, $4 a pound. But it does make quite a bit. It's a lot cheaper than beeswax, by the way. It's about a fourth of the price of beeswax. Yes, I have heard that some folks say that paraffin can cause cancer, and burning paraffin is not good and all that. Hey, look, candles have been made out of paraffin wax and beeswax for hundreds of years. Now, I don't buy that using one of these as a fire starter whenever you build a fire is going to give you cancer, only because breathing in the smoke from a fire can give you cancer. Or maybe some other respiratory problems. So I'm not even going to go there. But I will say that that it works really well. These things can burn if you swish them around for like 30 or 40 seconds in the wax and let the wax permeate into the paper pretty good. They will burn for upwards of 10 to 15 minutes, especially the way it's done here, where you have 2 whole sheets of newspaper and you roll it up like that. It'll burn for a long, long time. And that in doing that, you don't have to have to try too hard to get your fire going. It'll start off. So anyway, that's it for today, and I really appreciate you watching. If you have a mind to, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and stand by for some more videos from Variety Homestead.